I'm Sabrina Zainal, and this is Nightline, the top stories. Former minister suspected of receiving 5 million ringgit bribe and car in billboard and land transfer scandal. And PAS to decide on future ties with Bersatu following Perlis political crisis. With an investigation into an advertising board project and the transfer of land ownership in the capital. The individual is alleged to have received bribes of about 5 million ringgit. Session to record the individual's statement at the Commission's headquarters in Putrajaya lasted more than 7 hours. The vehicle carrying the former minister was seen leaving the premises at around 5:50 p.m. and is expected to return on Tuesday.
Kita menjalankan siasatan untuk melihat kepada isu-isu yang dinyatakan dalam laporan yang diberikan kepada kami. Jadi saya tak nak komen tanah ke dan terlalu detail diubah soalkan diubahkan kepada seperti mana disebutkan tadi itu, jadi saya tak nak sebut lagi.
So far, statements have been recorded from 16 witnesses, including government officials and company owners, to assist investigations in both cases. Sources say the former minister allegedly received 5 million ringgit from a property development company, while the luxury car was linked to an advertising billboard firm. Investigators are now tracing the source of funds used to acquire the vehicle. As for the land matter, preliminary findings indicate that a plot previously gazetted for the construction of a surau was later transferred to a proxy company. In a separate case, the MACC conducted a search at the official residence of a senior officer in the armed forces as part of an investigation into the procurement of military projects. 6 bank accounts belonging to the suspect and family members have been frozen. Azam said the search also covered the Armed Forces Office within the Defense Ministry, or MINDEF. The operation began at 5 p.m. on December 27th and lasted about 7 hours. Several luxury items, including watches and handbags, were seized during the search. The suspect was scheduled to provide a statement at MACC headquarters on December 28th, but was hospitalized and admitted to the intensive care unit on the same day.
Jadi buat masa ini, keterangan beliau tidak dapat lagi direkam sepenuhnya kerana kita perlu membenarkan beliau untuk mendapat rawatan kesihatan. Jadi bentuk sakit beliau tu saya tidak boleh komen kerana ini adalah satu perkara melibatkan hal peribadi.
MACC officers had earlier visited MINDEF last Tuesday, focusing on projects executed through open tenders and under Army responsibility centers. Meanwhile, Azam confirmed that several searches had been carried out on Monday at companies believed to be linked to the project. The operations are aimed at securing documents and other material evidence to support the probe. So far, statements have been recorded from 10 witnesses, including contractors and company owners. Investigators are now looking into around 40 companies suspected of being involved in the payment of bribes connected to the project. PAS will meet soon to decide on the prospects of its future cooperation with Bersatu following the political crisis in Perlis. PAS President Tan Sri Abdul Hadi Awang's political secretary, Muhammad Shahir Cik Sulaiman, said the matter will be discussed at an upcoming meeting of the party's Central Working Committee. Shahir, who is also the Bachok Member of Parliament, said the meeting, scheduled to be held in Terengganu, will focus on 2 key issues.
Pendirian parti tentang kelangsungan kerajaan di negeri Perlis pertama, yang keduanya tentang kedudukan hubungan muafakat dalam Perikatan Nasional. Jadi tapi saya kira memang di pihak parti sentiasa menghormati proses demokrasi.
When asked about the current relationship between PAS and Bersatu, he said both parties remain in communication. No specific discussions, however, have taken place on the political turmoil in Perlis. Shahir added that PAS will first determine its stance on the matter and related issues before deciding on any follow-up action.
Internally kita firm up kita punya keputusan dan pendirian dan barulah kita bawa ke meja rundingan. Everything is under control di tingkat parti.
Relations between PAS and Bersatu have become increasingly strained following the crisis, which saw Perlis Bersatu chief Abu Bakar Hamzah appointed as the new Menteri Besar on Sunday, replacing PAS's Muhammad Shukri Ramli, who stepped down last Thursday, citing health reasons after 8 state assemblymen, including Abu Bakar and 4 others from Bersatu, withdrew their support for him. 3 PAS assemblymen who took similar action were expelled from the party, and their seats were declared vacant by the Speaker, who has proposed that by-elections be held. To date, Bersatu has not taken any disciplinary action against its 5 assemblymen, despite calls from PAS leaders for the party to do so. Over in Perlis, State Legislative Assembly Speaker Rusli Izan said the Election Commission has been notified of unexpected vacancies in 3 PAS state seats after the assemblymen were expelled from their party. According to Rusli, the notification letters on the vacancies in the Bintong, Guarsanji and Chuping seats were submitted to the Perlis EC office around noon on Monday. He added that the EC had also been informed of the need to hold by-elections for the 3 seats.
Dalam seminggu 2, SPR akan respon lah. Sama ada perlu ada ataupun tidak berlayar.
The unexpected vacancies were announced last Thursday in accordance with the Perlis State Constitution. Rusli noted that although the Perlis State Assembly will automatically dissolve in 2 years, the by-elections are necessary to ensure the stability of the state government. In a related development, the EC has confirmed that it has received official notice of the vacancies for 3 Perlis State Assembly seats. EC Chairman Datuk Sri Ramlan Harun, when contacted, said the Commission will meet next week to deliberate on the matter.
Saya belum dapat tarikh lagi. Tapi next week. Sebab kita ada 4 hingga 10 hari untuk buat masyarakat tu daripada tarikh kita terima notis. So kita terima notis hari ni, so kita kena buat dalam tempoh terdekat ni lah.
He added that although the Perlis State Assembly reached the 3-year mark on December 18th, there are specific circumstances under which the Speaker has the discretion to decide whether by-elections should be called or otherwise. Meanwhile, newly appointed Perlis Menteri Besar Abu Bakar Hamzah said on Monday that the appointment of the new State Executive Council or EXCO members comprising Bersatu and PAS assemblymen will take some time to finalize. Earlier, Abu Bakar arrived at Complex Sri Putra in Kangar to begin his first day in office following his swearing-in at Istana Arau on Sunday. At his press conference, he explained that the appointment of the new EXCO lineup will be made while taking into account financial factors and maintaining a balance of leadership between Bersatu and PAS. He expects the process to be completed within 2 weeks. In the meantime, the existing EXCO members will continue to serve as caretakers. Abu Bakar, who is the Perlis Bersatu chief, also commented on the vacancies in the Chuping, Bintong and Guarsanji state seats following the expulsion of 3 PAS assemblymen from their party.
Tak boleh nak kata ya ataupun tidak. Bergantung kepada SPR dan juga kalau kita faham pihak ketiga orang tu pun juga akan mengambil cara mempertahankan mereka punya fakta. Di antara salah atau tidak hanya mahkamah akan tentukan. Tapi SPR adalah penentu dah. Sama ada akan diadakan PRK ataupun tidak. In other news, in Pulau Pinang, a senior citizen was killed after the car he was driving skidded off the road and was pierced by a metal rod in Ayitam, Georgetown on Monday. The State Fire and Rescue Department said it received an emergency call at 9:37 a.m. and immediately dispatched firefighters from the Payatrubong station to the scene. Now, the victim, identified as 67-year-old Lim Soon Teik, sustained severe head and facial injuries. He received first aid treatment from the medical team, but later succumbed to his injuries at the scene. The car allegedly entered a lane at Desa Mawar in Farlim, which had been closed for cable installation works, before plunging into a pit, causing a metal rod to penetrate from the underside of the vehicle through to the roof. The victim's body was later sent to the Penang hospital for post-mortem. The cause of the accident is being investigated under the Road Transport Act. Vehicle sales are expected to decline by 2% to 774,000 units in 2026, compared with an estimated 790,000 units this year. According to CIMB Securities, the softer outlook is driven by higher vehicle prices and the potential revision of the open market value, or OMV methodology, which could lead to higher excise duties. Now, to cushion the impact, the OMV revision has been deferred by 6 months to July 2026 to provide temporary relief to locally assembled vehicle manufacturers. At the same time, demand for national brands is expected to remain resilient, supported by first-time buyers, the mass market, and RON 95 fuel subsidies. For EVs, fully imported models will be subject to tax from January next year, while locally assembled EVs will remain tax-exempt until 2027. Now, the electrical and electronics E&E sector emerged as the main buffer for Malaysia's trade performance in November. According to TA Securities, E&E exports rose 5.3% year-on-year to nearly 56 billion ringgit, accounting for more than 38% of total exports. In contrast, agricultural and mining exports declined, weighed down by lower shipments of palm oil, crude petroleum, and liquefied natural gas amid softer global prices. The firm also said the stronger E&E performance was supported by a recovery in global semiconductor demand, driven by developments in artificial intelligence technology. And despite a firmer ringgit, demand for technology products remained resilient, helping to sustain the country's export momentum. Two killed as MPV crashes into utility pole. This and more after this breather.
Rempit dalam kalangan anak muda di mana pengakhirannya.
Orang suruh berhenti-berhentilah. Dia mau lari mana?
Kewujudan koloni parti semakin membimbangkan.
Kita diam-diam duduk tiap pun tak ada kacau kita.
Keluar!
Saksikan 999 Selasa jam 9 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang. Lari tonton.
변호사님 어깨 치고 싫어. 우주체가 돌아이! 사랑엔 왜 작든 건 없는 거거든.
난 아니라고. 난 절대 아니라고.
우리가 변호사와 살인범자로 만나게 될 줄.
Bersangka buruk dia tidak baik.
Kutuk-kutuk depan sih.
Lalu kena kecam dengan netizen.
Jangan main fitnah je netizen. Kalau berani buat lah. Gaduh.
Tak, bukan.
Saya pun nervous juga. Kita pun dah happy ending.
Jangan lupa saksikan Melodi setiap hari Khamis pukul 9 malam di TV3.
Dan stream juga kali tonton.
Thanks for staying with us. 2 men, including a 27-year-old Pakistani national, died after the MPV they were travelling in veered off the road and crashed into a utility pole in Dungan, Terengganu on Monday morning. Dungan District Police Chief Superintendent Maizura Abdul Qadir said the accident, which occurred at about 7 a.m., also left 6 others injured.
The victims, identified as 21-year-old Muhammad Ashraf Muhammad Zahir and 27-year-old Pakistani national Siraj Norman, suffered severe bodily injuries and were pronounced dead at the scene. 6 others, including 1 local and 5 foreign nationals aged between 30 and 40, sustained injuries and were sent to the Dungan hospital for treatment. According to police, the 8 men who were contract workers were traveling from their rented house in Paka to their workplace in Santong when the accident occurred. The driver is believed to have lost control of the MPV while negotiating a bend before veering off the road and colliding with a utility pole. The bodies of the 2 victims were sent to the Dungan Hospital's forensic unit for post-mortem. The cause of the crash is under investigation.
In the meantime, police have successfully arrested 17 members of the organized criminal group known as Gang Ramiz during a 3-day operation in Kedah, which concluded on December 4th. Bukit Aman Criminal Investigation Department, or CID Director Dato M. Kumar, said authorities have identified and are currently pursuing the remaining of 15 members of the group, including their 36-year-old leader.
At a media conference on Monday, Kumar said the group has been active since 2020 and is suspected of being involved in various violent crimes, including robbery, assault, murder, and drug trafficking in Sungai Petani, Kulim, and several locations in Pulau Pinang.
Bila kita kata kumpulan, dia ada peranan yang dimainkan oleh setiap ahli tau. Dia bukan semua. Ada yang sebagai penyerang, strike team dia panggil. Ada yang jenis pergi kutip kewangan, ada yang terlibat dengan pengedaran dada. Dia teratur, organized.
The group is also believed to be linked to at least 2 murder cases since 2024.
Meanwhile, police have ruled out extremist elements or links to terror groups in the improvised explosive device IED blast at Desa Palma in Nilai Negeri Sembilan last week. Kumar said initial findings indicate the incident was an isolated case and did not involve any organized crime syndicates.
According to Kumar, investigations are now focused on the suspect's motive, the intended target, and whether any other individuals were involved. He added that the suspect is currently receiving hospital treatment and police are awaiting medical clearance before recording his statement. Kumar also confirmed that materials seized at the scene contained explosive elements. Earlier, reports said the 62-year-old suspect was found in a weakened condition with burn injuries in a forest near Batang Benar, Nilai, after allegedly hiding there following the explosion. He has since been remanded until January 3rd to assist in the investigation. His arrest led to the discovery of a motorcycle and several other IEDs in his possession. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code as well as the Corrosive and Explosive Substances and Offensive Weapons Act.
In Johor, an e-hailing driver was charged at the Pengarang Magistrates Court with 3 counts of dangerous driving causing death in connection with a crash 2 months ago. The accused, Lu Chun Hai, however, pleaded not guilty after the charges were read out before Magistrate Hidayatul Shuhada Shamsuddin.
According to the charge sheet, Lu is accused of driving an SUV dangerously, resulting in the deaths of Muhammad Hafizan Hanafi Nurhaizal, Fazrizal Izwan Zuhaimi, and Muhammad Abdul Khalid Abdul Rashid, aged between 19 and 21. The alleged offence occurred along the Senai-Desaru Highway on October 11th. The charges under the Road Transport Act for causing death by reckless and dangerous driving carries a maximum 10-year jail term and a fine of up to 50,000 ringgit for each count upon conviction. Lu also pleaded not guilty to a separate charge of possessing prohibited goods under the Customs Act, involving 4,800 sticks of assorted cigarettes valued at 3,894 ringgit. The offence is punishable by a fine of up to 20 times the customs duty amount, or 500,000 ringgit, whichever is higher, a maximum of 5 years imprisonment, or both. The court granted bail at 15,000 ringgit and fixed February 6th for case mention. In October, local media reported on a 3-vehicle collision which claimed the lives of a driver and 2 passengers in a car, while the SUV involved caught fire and was later found to be carrying smuggled cigarettes.
Blaze at nursing home kills at least 16 people. The details when Nightline returns.
Puluhan kes berprofil tinggi dan terpencil telah kami paparkan. Sarat emosi, penuh persoalan, disulam pengajaran. Saksikan himpunan laporan terbaik sepanjang tahun ini dalam edisi khas Fail Mahkamah Rabu ini jam 9 malam, eksklusif hanya di TV3.
Wanita hari ini.
Bila kita melawan, dikatakan biadab pula.
Sebab tu kena tahu antara keberanian mempertahankan hak kita.
Mochi cheesecake, tiramisu dan pizza wagyu.
Antara menu viral 2025 kami bawakan.
2025 sudah melabuhkan tirainya.
Pelbagai kisah suka, duka sepanjang tahun kami kongsikan.
Tahun baru, azab pun pasti baru.
Tak lupa juga, kembali ke sekolah Khamis ini.
Sokongan emosi diperlukan untuk berkahwinan kekal bahagia.
Sebab tu, kena perbaharui lesen cinta.
Semuanya di WHI TV3
dan stream sekarang di YouTube.
Terus keping je.
Mesti shopping pun boleh. Siap ada diskaun lagi.
Menarik dinasti Lemak Kopi O sepanjang minggu ini.
Menutup tirai 2025 dengan pelbagai kisah suka duka yang berlaku sepanjang tahun dalam imbauan NLKO.
Kita singkap tahun baru dengan azam dan impian perjalanan hidup yang baru untuk tahun 2026.
Ada pelbagai cara untuk menelusuri kehidupan yang bahagia dalam versi masing-masing. Kisahnya dalam aspirasi.
Setiap Rabu hingga Jumaat 10.30 pagi
di TV9 dan stream ditonton.
We're back with the foreign front. At least 16 people were killed when a fire tore through a nursing home on the Indonesian island of Sulawesi. The Manado Fire and Rescue Agency said firefighters received a report of the blaze at the Wirda Damai Retirement Home at 8:31 p.m. local time on Sunday and managed to extinguish it an hour later. Many bodies of the victims were found inside their rooms. Authorities managed to evacuate 12 people, all unhurt, and transfer them to a local hospital. It is understood that many of the elderly residents were likely resting in their rooms in the evening when the fire broke out. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. Also in Indonesia, the body of a Spanish child who went missing last weekend in a tourist boat accident off Padar Island, Labuan Bajo in East Nusa Tenggara, has been found. Now, authorities said the body of the victim, a 12-year-old girl, was found just after dawn on Monday, floating in the northern waters of Serai Island, about 1 kilometer from where the boat sank, after being spotted by a local resident. The victim's body was taken to Komodo Regional General Hospital in Labuan Bajo. Search efforts will continue for up to 7 more days to locate 3 other victims, all of whom are Spanish nationals. The tourist boat KM Putri Sakinah, carrying 4 crew members and 7 passengers from Komodo Island to Padar Island, sank Friday night after high waves caused engine failure. Thailand's army on Monday accused Cambodia of violating a newly signed ceasefire agreement reached after weeks of deadly border clashes by flying more than 250 drones over its territory. The Thai army said more than 250 unmanned aerial vehicles were detected flying from the Cambodian side, intruding into Thailand's sovereign territory on Sunday night. It added that such actions constitute provocation and violate measures intended to reduce tensions, contradicting the joint statement agreed upon during a bilateral border committee meeting on Saturday. Meanwhile, Cambodia's foreign minister said the 2 sides had discussed the incident and agreed to investigate and resolve it immediately. Myanmar's dominant pro-military party is winning a majority in the first phase of junta-run elections after democracy watchdogs warned the poll would entrench military rule. Now, party officials said on Monday that the pro-military Union Solidarity and Development Party appears to be securing a majority of seats nationwide. However, official results have yet to be posted by Myanmar's Union Election Commission, and 2 more phases are scheduled for January 11th and 25th. The armed forces snatched power in a 2021 coup, but on Sunday opened voting in a phased month-long election they pledge will return power to the people. The Palestinian group Hamas has confirmed that its armed wing spokesperson, known as Abu Ubaidah, and Muhammad Sinwar, the group's former leader in Gaza, were killed in Israel's genocidal war earlier this year. The Al-Qassam brigades on Monday, Hamas's military wing, confirmed the death of its longtime spokesman and announced the appointment of a new masked spokesperson. Abu Ubaidah, whose real name is Hutaifa Samir al-Khalut, was targeted in late August when an Israeli strike hit a residential apartment in Gaza City. The group also confirmed the deaths of Muhammad Shabana, the head of the group's Rafah brigade, and 2 other leaders, Hakam al-Isi and Raid Saad. Sinwar and Abu Ubaidah are the latest Hamas representatives confirmed killed by Israel in the past 2 years.
Aquí todo el feriado.
Switching to sports, futsal, the 2025 ASEAN Under-19 Championship. The national men's youth squad secured 3rd place after defeating Vietnam 4-3 in a penalty shootout in Bangkok, Thailand on Monday.
In a hard-fought third-place playoff, Vietnam took an early lead when Nguyen Trong Hoang Long scored just 5 minutes into the game. Under pressure, Rakpol Thanatgam's side pushed back and eventually equalized through Iqbal Hazim Radzi in the 39th minute. Vietnam regained the lead in the 40th minute through Nguyen Tak Hue, only for Malaysia's Aidil Zakwan to equalize moments later. Tied 2-2 at full time, the match was decided by a penalty shootout, with Malaysia winning 4-3.
On to Muay Thai now. Rising national fighter Muhammad Elias Ghazali Zulkiflikar added to And that concludes Nightline this time around. We leave you with a look at Paris, where the French capital is in the throes of a cold snap with sub-zero nighttime temperatures and daytime highs barely rising above 4 degrees Celsius. With that, I'm Sabrina Zainal. Thank you for watching and stay safe.